morning, you fine person sitting right there, and you in the background over there listening. Hello to you too. I know you're there. I'm in Kenworth, Ontario. I just loaded up, tied it down, tarped it, and I am on my way down to Minnesota again. I'm going to deliver this today yet. So the time is now about 9:30 a.m. It takes about 6 hours to get there. It should be there around 3:30. I'll get unloaded, and then I'm going to head to Hasty, Minnesota, spend the night there. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to go into Shakopee, which is like southwest Minneapolis, and load up some shingles and go home. That's the plan, so I'm glad you're here. Buckle up. It's time to go trucking. Nice weather we've been enjoying is holding out. The next week in the forecast looks like it's going to be about the same. Beautiful. We're sitting at -2 Celsius right now, or 28 Fahrenheit. Just beautiful. This is my kind of weather. Anywhere between 0 and -10 is my favorite. Preferably without snow and salt and messy roads, but I really like the cool temperatures so that I can sleep really well at night. But it doesn't take a lot of extra effort to keep warm. But if you get too warm, you just take a layer off and cool down really quick. It's not like in summer when you're so hot. And if you don't have air conditioning, there's just no relief. But if I'm going swimming, going to the beach, or going out on the lake or something, a good like +25 to +30 Celsius, like I'm thinking like 75 to 85 Fahrenheit, that's a good temperature for that. Anything more than that is too hot. It's hard to get it just right, but sometimes, you know, midsummer you get that just perfect day. It's just pure bliss, right? And it never fails. On those perfect, beautiful days, you're always working and can't enjoy it. Look at that load. Wow. Wonder what that is. Wonder if that just came over from the US? Because the border's right here. Or is it going to the US? How would they get across this little bridge? Well, it's not so little, but that would be a big pain in the butt.
Second Avenue, US 53, and then turn right into 130 meters.
Yeah, like how would you get that big thing over this little bridge? That must have been an event.
Entering Minnesota.
Minnesota, hello. Deer River, we're back. Don't you dare turn yellow. Dare. Oh! Oh, about another hour and a half or so till we get to Brainerd. We'll get this freight off the trailer. It shouldn't take too long. And then we're going to switch it up a bit. So my videos aren't the same every day. When we go down to Minneapolis, though I have been there many times before. We're just taking a load of shingles back home. I'll be delivering those on Monday morning. So it'll be an early morning on Monday. I'll have to get up early so I get there when they open up, so that I can go and get reloaded somewhere yet. Get going on next week. Gotta keep these wheels moving. Always busy, busy, busy. Jumping ahead a little bit here the next morning. Figured I'd show you where we're at. Made it out to Hasty, Minnesota here after unloading in Brainerd. Got my spot at the truck stop. Just dragging myself inside for a coffee. Got to make it over to Shakopee. I've got about an hour and 45 minutes till I got to be there. It's about an hour of driving. So I'm giving myself about 45 minutes extra for potential traffic going around the east side of Minneapolis. Hopefully that's enough. Should be more than enough. It's usually pretty smooth flowing there. So we'll grab those shingles, throw them on the trailer, and we can start heading back home. Cheapest coffee on the interstate, tell you what. They got those same machines and the same coffee as the Bean to Cup at Flying J and Love's and all the other ones you see. But everywhere else, an extra large coffee is what, between $3 and $4? Close to $3 at least. Here, $2. Same coffee, $2. But that's a good cup of coffee. Not like these other places. And guess what? You buy a cup of coffee here, they don't beg you for a tip. Like other places nowadays. That's crazy. My rule for tipping is if I'm standing or if it's takeout, there's no tip. Don't even ask. I don't know, does that mean, is that wrong of me to say that? I mean, a man's got to have his morals, right? And his principles. A tip is supposed to be a reward for good service, not a subsidy for your employer's lack of wages. You give me good service, you treat me well, you smile at me, you make me feel special, you bring me my food or my drinks hot to my table when I'm sitting at the table inside, not in my car. You absolutely get a tip. I usually give 15%. I always used to give 10. My wife educated me on that. 15% is standard for good service. Oh, hot. Oh, it's hot, but it's good. It's worth it. Burnt my tongue a bit. Totally worth it. Oh, did it again. Yep. Let's let that cool down. That's a good cup of coffee. $2. It's my favorite place to stop. It's a Speedway. And it's right at the perfect spot between like Minneapolis and home. This is usually where I stop. Anywhere closer to the city gets pretty busy, but this is just far enough away from the city that it's not so busy all the time. It gets pretty full at night, so you might not find a parking spot if you get here in the middle of the night, but if you get here at a decent time, there's usually parking. And I got my spot here where I sort of park off to the side. It's far from the building, so nobody ever wants to park in this spot here, right? Because everybody wants to be as close to the building as possible, including myself a lot of the time. But I don't mind a walk across the parking lot every now and then. Shingle City. Whew! This is where they grow them. This is a field of shingles. It's beautiful. I'm following that guy in front of me. He's gonna line me up and load me up. Send me on my way. Have you ever seen where they grow the shingles? Fields and fields of them. It almost seems that way, right? That's a lot of shingles. Wonder how much like asphalt and stuff they use every day making those things. I bet you quite a bit. But we got our load thrown on the trailer. I'll share it with you in the next vlog here in a little bit. So today's video was a little bit sporadic, wasn't it? We started off up in Kenora, which is sort of central Canada if you look at a map, right above like Minnesota, mostly there, just over the border. And we picked up the load there. We tied it down, tarped it, you know, my usual. I do this quite often. You guys have probably seen it before in all my other videos. Took it down to Minnesota, had it unloaded, and then we had that reload of shingles in Minneapolis. It makes a nice rounder when this happens. I don't always get these rounders. There's other guys too that sort of gets passed around, right? But this is a nice rounder because I can deliver down in Brainerd, and then it's only about 2.5 hours down to Minneapolis. And then from there, it's an 8-hour drive back home. So it's like a little loop, and you can do 2 of them in a week usually. So if you start on Monday, deliver the first Kenora, pick up on Tuesday, deliver that in Winnipeg on Wednesday, get back over to Kenora, pick up another one, deliver that in Brainerd on Thursday, and then run down to Minneapolis, pick that up Thursday afternoon, and deliver that Friday in Winnipeg, and then go home for the weekend. If it works out perfectly. And like I said, I don't always get this, but well, every now and then, the load gods smile down on me and give me a few crumbs to nibble on. They treat me well. They treat everybody good. They're good guys. But anyways, just wanted to let you know, we got loaded up, and tomorrow will be the trip from Minneapolis back home. And I'm editing this later in the next week already, and I forgot my nice Sony A7C camera at home for next week. I don't have it with me now when I'm putting this together, and I had a clip from the end of today and the end of tomorrow's video on that camera, and it's sitting at home. I forgot it because we filmed the gender reveal of our upcoming baby this next weekend, and I had the camera at home for that, right? And that camera is the one I use for low light situations because it does really good at night. So I usually end off my videos with that camera because it gives this camera, the GoPro Hero 10 that I'm using, you guys know the story, it doesn't do as good in low light. So I ended this video, and I don't have that clip here with me. So whatever, this will have to do. Thanks for hanging out with me though, everybody. Thanks for hanging out every day. I appreciate all of you. Really glad to have this community that we built here online, that we can all sort of hang out together and learn from each other. You can see life through my eyes, and different things going on in the world right now through my eyes, and the world may seem crazy at times, but it'll all work out. It'll all work out one way or another. It'll all work out. People need their goods. That's one thing about being a truck driver. People are always going to need things. They're going to need them delivered. So there'll always be stuff for us to do. Things might change here and there a little bit, but in the end, I always say that having your CDL, your Class 1, your Class A, whatever you call it, your truck license is like employment insurance to a degree. Even through the pandemic, like we didn't really notice anything for us because we were essential workers. People still need their stuff, right? So whatever's going on in the world right now, you know, I'm not too worried about it. They'll figure it out. As long as cooler heads prevail, and as long as, you know, we keep calm, tread carefully, you know, be respectful, things will work out for everybody.
So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you haven't become a member yet, why not? Go down below, hit the join button, learn more about it. Be a member of the channel. I'll see you tomorrow.